Gaming, Good or Bad documentary by Justice Hood and Dorian Holman. When you game, your brain releases dopamine, the happy chemical, which can make you very heavily addicted. Video game addiction can be as addictive as some types of gambling.
The gaming industry so big?
The gaming industry being so big is due in part to the popularity of video games. A lot of people want to play, it's very accessible for a lot of people, and a lot of people have the opportunity to play on a system.
Gaming has lots of negative side effects. When Nintendo was booming, people would press on the joystick so much that tendons in the thumb would swell. Excessive video game use can lead to the brain being revved up in a constant state of hype, like a sugar rush, except it can make you irritable. Most gaming addictions can lead to low self-esteem, low self-efficiency, attention problems, etc.
If video games were not around, well, I think people would find other things to do. I mean, video games are a form of art, so I think it would simply be art that people create in other ways. Maybe still movies, comic books, paintings. So it just would look different art.
How many customers do you think you get on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, we probably receive an average of 30 people per day in our gaming center here.
What do you think?
Let's see, we're probably going to say 18 to 24.
Is there somebody who comes in the shop to play games?
Yes, as a matter of fact, one of the big things about a place like this is that we have a lot of regulars. We have a lot of people who will come in and spend a lot of time. They're comfortable here, they're familiar here. It's a place where they sort of know how it works, and they meet other people, and they just want to be around.
How much money do you think you make per day?
Per day, I would say it's an average of maybe $150. It's not a whole lot, but it adds up.
Do you ever have people that argue the price of the game?
So far, no. Everybody, I think, is actually fairly open to our prices. We try to keep them low to accommodate for as many people as we can. Thank you.
But gaming can be beneficial. Gaming can increase your hand-eye coordination. For example, catching a ball. It's been proven that mind games can slowly make people smarter over a long course of time. It can positively affect people.
I think video gaming gives everybody access and a platform where they can, explore, their understanding of certain things. They get to experiment in a sandbox without wrecking the internet. It gives people an opportunity to take a break from the daily grind, and to be able to, breathe and exhale sometimes. So I think it's a positive thing overall.
What are some examples you've seen of people getting better or their attitudes getting better because of gaming?
So I've done esports program here, and I've seen a lot of people kind of dial back their reflexive reaction to gaming, because I know it feels good to win, to beat the big boss or whatever, and a lot of times that comes out as a lot of yelling and screaming and jumping around and all that stuff, which is understandable. But like in an esports kind of space, which is electronic sports, it's video games as a sport, but that doesn't fly in that kind of scenario. You have to be respectful of other people, and I think that's been really helpful for people too, is to have that exposure so that they can take hold of that experience for themselves.
What do you think are some negative impacts if gaming was gone?
There would be a lot. I think. I think a lot of people get a lot of emotions pent up, like built up inside of them, and they need an outlet to let that go. And video games, I think, provide a safer space than would or could be found in reality, right? Because sometimes it's not okay to do the things that you want to do in a video game. You can't do those in real life all the time because they're not safe or because they can be harmful to others. So, yeah, I think that's it.
What are your thoughts on the stereotype that people think video games are bad?
I think video games are just like anything else. They're a tool, and it all depends on how you use them, right? This pencil by itself doesn't do anything, right? But it's how I use it that determines its role. Is this something good that I do with this? Am I creating positive things in the world? Or am I just being destructive and destroying a pencil, throwing it at somebody and trying to get attention that way or whatever? So I think it's a tool, and I think it all depends on how the person is using it.
What is your general opinion on gaming? Like, why do you think gaming impacts us so much?
I think gaming impacts us so much. It's a big part of our culture here, especially in the U.S. It's been around since before I was even born. People have always been trying to, not always, but people were trying to create video games in a digital space using technology, and it just started out in computers. I think overall that I don't think it's a trend or a fad. I think it's something that's kind of intrinsic and will be with us and follow us. It might change over time, but we're coming up on PlayStation 6 is coming out someday soon, right? So it's just gonna keep moving.
Oh.
Right there.
What's your opinion on video games in general? Would you say they're more towards the bad side or the good side?
I think in general that like I say, video games are a tool, and it depends on how you use them. If you use them for escapism, if you use them for learning, all of these different ways that you use them, it all just depends on how you do it and how much time you spend doing those things. Like they say, the poison is in the dose. It all depends on what you do with it. Everything can be harmful, anything can be helpful. It all just depends on how it's used.
Dang it. Alright, thank you. We wanted to reveal these facts on the good and bad of the gaming, but the way you interpret it is how it should be treated. Lots of these facts were stereotypes or things that were taught to people over time, but some of them were true, like Nintenditis. Gaming may be addictive, but it's an art form. It was never designed to hurt us.